Welcome back to Safa's Unscripted, episode 120. It is a special one. Obviously, you guys see this on Monday morning. We're filming it on Sunday evening. But yesterday, we had a big game, but we had an even bigger event. One of the three of us had a birthday. Brevan Herbst, the guy turned 49 years old today. And Brevan, from the both of us, happy birthday from the whole Safa's Unscripted community. Happy birthday. I hope it was a blessed day. Tell us, what was it like waking up the morning? Obviously, you went to the rugby. How was the experience?
Obviously, I was just super excited that I got to go to another All Blacks Springbok game, and the fact that it was on my birthday just made it like super exciting. But yeah, as we got there, the atmosphere was just insane. Crazy atmosphere. I'm sure New Zealanders will think the atmosphere was quite disrespectful. But yeah, and just quickly, I thought we were going to lose at one point. I really didn't think we were going to claw it back. And with that last 10 minutes, I've never seen anything like it. Because, the past two games I've been to of an All Black Springbok game, we lost. So I was like, oh, goodness, not again. Third time, I was going to be like, this is the last one. But yeah, they got it done. So that's awesome.
Yeah, of course. It was a magical game, and we'll get into that in a second. But Brett, you had a little personal achievement as well. Just before we start the podcast, you can have the honors. I won't take your shine.
Yeah, I didn't actually want to do this because I don't want to upstage Brevan on his birthday. But he does know he plays for this team as well. We literally defended our title at the Josie 10s. So that makes us the best in the North and the best in the South in the 10s tournament. So that's us taking the W in the final. So yeah, I'm still tired from that. And I obviously watched the box and then just partied because everyone won. Brevan won, the box won, we won. It's so lucky to be a South African.
Yeah. It's a good time to be alive for us as South Africans. Obviously, with our country, like this isn't a political channel at all. But you're seeing improvements in the country as well. Like I feel like we are one of the most safe countries in the world at the moment. If you look at what's going on all around the world. But anyway, big news: Springboks coming out on top. And Brevan, you mentioned it that we had the shits for a little while there. Brett, I'll just come straight to you. That first 15 minutes, that was a tough watch. We were on the ropes. Great defense, though. Great defense. We have to give credit to ourselves in that line. But they had us on the back foot. That first 15 was scary.
It was, but it wasn't one of those typical All Black tests where I felt like, oh shit. At any point of the game oh shit, this could be bad. Because I saw, we were a bit shell-shocked. And then it was like a clump of cells in your body, like when there's an injury. And when everything starts flowing nicely like that, then that's the feeling I got. Like it was all clustered, blah, blah, blah. And then the flow came. And then I thought, okay, I'm happy with this. And then I was sitting with the 10s people this weekend, and the ladies asked, Brett, what do you think? Like, how far do you think we're going to lose? I said, I promise you South Africa's still going to win this game. Those are my words. And yeah, no doubt.
Brevan, it wasn't really that they caught us cold, right? I don't even think we were cold. Like, they had the ball and they just didn't lose the ball. But our defense was up for it. You could see there was big hits going in there. It's not like the Mount Smart where we played there, and it's like they put points over us and we were just nowhere. We were just running ourselves dead and missing tackles and whatever. Like, it was good defensive work rate and it was great ball retention from their side. But how did you feel after just watching the start of the game there?
So there's something that I agree with what Brett said. Obviously, I said now I was a bit worried towards the end. Naturally, I think with 10 minutes to go, 10 points down, you do start to think, oof, we have pulled this off before, but can they pull this out 10 times out of 10, if that makes sense? But what I agree with him is yes, they started very strong, and trust me, they started very strong, and give them credit for that. I knew that was going to happen straight after the haka, because obviously there's a lot of controversy around there. But the way the haka went, I was like, these guys are going to start strong. But there was no point where I was like, this is such a ruthless All Black side, if this makes sense. Like, we defended very well, and at the same time, we were quite bad in the beginning, but we hung on and we stayed within reach. Whereas a previous All Black side that would have scared me would have probably put 2 or 3 tries quickly past us if we were sleeping. Which is why I agree. I wasn't like stressed. I just felt like there was always something that was going to happen for us. And but like, I want to give credit to a man who I didn't think had this defense in him, was Fussy. I thought Fussy had a good defense at the back as a 15. I'll give him credit there. He was making tackles on Blackadder.
Blackadder butchered 2 massive chances though. Like, as good as the defense from Fussy was, which I commend him for as well. Like, I thought he stood out in defense. Blackadder, if you have an overlap like that, twice in the same attack, surely one time you just release it to one of your wings that has an open try line. Like, what was that guy thinking? I have no idea what he was thinking. Brett, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, besides Blackadder's, like those 2 clear, like, brain farts that he had, I thought he was one of the All Blacks' best players. I felt he was everywhere. Like, he actually started to annoy me. Like, oh my word, can this like just get subbed or something? Because no, I thought Blackadder was brilliant. I said this in the previous episode as well, that I think that he's definitely one to look out for, and he proved it. He was so frustrating. He frustrated me as a fan, so I can only imagine how frustrated the Boks were. Like, this like just disrupting everything.
Do you think he kind of gives off the same vibe as Pieter-Steph du Toit does to other countries when he plays against them?
I think more of a Kwagga Smith type of disruption than a Pieter-Steph du Toit. But I do see why you would ask that, because
just like a menace all around the park.
And so on Pieter-Steph du Toit, previous episode I spoke about how I think Colby is one of the best players in the world. I think Pieter-Steph du Toit is the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Is that 3 consecutive man of the matches in a row? Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And absolutely 2 of them out of position.
It's crazy.
That's absolutely ridiculous. The guy's a monster at the moment. Surely, and to be fair, like, Cheslin Colby also had a scintillating game. Like
that guy is not human. He like when he bounced Barrett, that crowd went mental. Like, obviously we saw Ulrich get a bounce off, we saw Sia get a bounce off, but Colby's, oh my word! Like, do you expect a 80-kilogram wing to bounce 120 kilos? I mean, it's crazy.
What's more impressive, Brevin? And I'll ask you this, just quickly going off topic. Colby bouncing Scott Barrett, right? Like a small guy bouncing a big guy, or Ulrich Low stepping Mark Telea that he tackles the ground.
Yeah.
Big boy stepping a wing.
Ulrich was good off those kickoffs when he came on. I won't lie. I mean, crazy. I mean, like, just those moments, it helps the game so much, because that moment gives you momentum. And there's so many Oaks in this team that are able to give you that moment, to give you the momentum as well, which makes the Springboks such a good team. So, crazy.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. Does anyone have something to say?
I want to ask you something casual. I want to ask you something.
I
saw on the other social media platform that you had a bit of quickies to Goy there. Was that based on how well the Boks made you feel, or was it just because?
It was. So at first I was just like, oh, well, it's rugby, so we can have a couple of drinks. And then I was like, oh, shit, we're losing. I might need a bit more drinks. And then it's like, we just won. I'm going to drink some more. That's just kind of what happened. I'm not going to lie. It's one of those things that just like got a bit carried away. But I mean, it's life. I just live life, have some fun, whatever. Regret it the next day, regret it today. It is what it is. We move on next week and we do the same. I mean, I could sit here and say, listen, tomorrow I'll be a better person. Next week, and I won't make that mistake again. And then I go out and I'm like, okay, I'll just two quick beers. Yeah, next you know, it's like 20 down the drain. And it's like, what am I doing with my life? I'm literally just destroying it. Yeah.
Okay, before we get flagged for alcohol abuse, so each one of us had a different experience in watching the game. So obviously, Brevin was at the game. I was at a Bok fan park at the Josie Tens, and you were drunk. So let's start with Brevin. Give us your match review on what you thought of the actual game from a crowd perspective.
From a crowd perspective, the crowd was shell shocked in the beginning because of how quick the All Blacks started. I can tell you now, like during the haka, right? Obviously, there's controversy around that, and we may as well address it because it's coming our way anyways, and we're going to be called disrespectful, whatever. So obviously, I expected the plane to fly over like after the haka, like they did in 2022. Next minute, this plane's coming towards the stadium. I'm like right behind the pole, so I can literally see the plane coming. This thing's coming. And I'm like, is this going to fly over during the haka? And as it flies over, next minute there's fireworks. Sister Bettina comes on. I'm like, yo, guys, what are we doing? And like, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the fans' reaction to the haka. I think that's needed. Like, I believe anyone that we must just sit there and be quiet. I completely disagree with that. But the fireworks and stuff was a bit extra, but whatever. That's just that stuff. And then just the game itself, there was a lot of belief throughout the game. Like even when we were 10 points down.
The playing thing, that's literally just a timing issue. The Sister Bettina, I don't know what that was about.
Nah, South African stadium DJs are just, not the greatest at the moment, are they? But look, I think, like I said, the whole time there was belief. The crowd wouldn't stop cheering defense or cheering Boka Boka Boka, like even when we were 10 points down. And when Kwagga scored that try to obviously get us back into it, it's just, you could sense that we were going to win. It was crazy. Literally, the whole stadium knew it. Obviously, the stadium wasn't too happy with the ref. And obviously, we've all seen different parts. I still haven't watched the game back fully on the TV. So I can only say what I saw from in the stadium point of view. And he was making some calls that I thought were absolutely disgraceful. Obviously, Bongi's try, not a try in my opinion. But at the same time, the All Blacks' first try, not a try in my opinion. Obstruction at the maul, and no one's calling that out. So, yeah, it's fair if you're going to be inconsistent like that. But, yeah, I think he had a horrible game. And I think it
disgraceful game. I'm so glad you brought it up. He had a disgraceful game. Like, at certain points, he was cooking the All Blacks, right? And I'm the most biased guy in the world. But at some point, like obviously he was bad to us as well. That maul try should never have been a try. Bongi's try never should have been a try, right? But he was an absolute disgrace. From the normal kickoff, that rule changed a long time. If that ball hasn't bounced out and Rico Ioane's foot is on the line and he takes that ball, then it's him that took that ball out, right? That's the exact same thing that happened to Osborne in that Irish game when we played them. Do you guys remember that? It's the exact same thing. Like, I don't know what this guy was thinking. I just heard apparently like the shot clock that was shown on the TV and the shot clock inside the stadium was a bit different because I was like, well, Mackenzie's time's up. There he's letting him kick. But then on the TV, Sasha has 5 seconds left and he's blown the whistle. And Sasha's appealing to it. I don't know. This guy, he had an absolute shocker. If I'm South African and I'm angry at it, and if I was an All Blacks fan, I would be angry at it as well. Absolutely horrific.
I agree. The Bongi one, we would have been fuming if that had happened. I, however, don't think it would have made a difference in the game because we were still a man up in the scrum. We still would have probably got the line out in this 22 and attacked again and could have potentially scored again. So I personally don't feel that it would have made a change in the game. Yes, that's very cocky to say, but that's
Did we
just
have
the wrong time.
advantage as well?
Sorry?
Did we have
I
advantage
think
as
we
well?
did have advantage. I think we
I can't
did.
remember.
Because I remember there was a side entry or something, and then he gave advantage, and then Bongi broke loose, and obviously, but still, like Red says, you can carry on talking. Sorry for interrupting, but I don't think it would have made a difference because the momentum was on our side, and we were going to definitely score in that phase of play. So that's just my opinion.
Also, I want to say Kwagga Smith proved to the world that he's the best bench player in the world. He should never start a test match again. And that's no disrespect to him. That's actually a compliment to him that his spot on the bomb squad is secure until he retires. You don't want to know that as a player, but off the bench, he's just next level. It's probably one of him and Kitsov are probably the two best bench players I've ever seen in my entire life. But also Arich Low, he stood out for me off the bench, very good. But for me was surprisingly quiet. He's not a bench player. Like, I don't know, that just felt weird to not see a four on his back.
He came on pretty early, didn't he?
Yeah, he came on for Nokia. So he came on for Nokia for an HIA. Then Nokia came back on for Etzebeth. But as soon as Etzebeth came off, he came back on for Ben Jason Dixon, who got taken off early, obviously. So.
Ben Jason Dixon had a shocker, boys. He had an absolute
I wouldn't say a shocker. I think he was just off the pace. Like, I think he was overwhelmed. It didn't look like he was making mistakes, but it didn't look like he was doing his job fully. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I felt like maybe the occasion's too big for him. But he didn't make mistakes. He didn't knock the ball. He didn't concede penalties. He didn't do anything wrong. He just, I felt he was a bit off the pace.
Anyway, I want to bring something up, right? The fact that Bongi's try shouldn't have been a try, right? People can't say that decided the game. That happened at the start of the game. If you want to use that as an excuse for the implosion that we saw from the All Blacks in that final 10 minutes, and you don't want to take self-responsibility for that, then you've got a big issue, right? Because I've been seeing a lot of people in my comment sections on other social media platforms all just talking about Bongi's try that happened at the 15th minute. You had a 10-point lead with 10 minutes to go, right? And I'm only saying this because I am disappointed for the New Zealand fans that are actually going and saying that is the reason why we lost. Like, where's your standards? Where's your standards when it comes to this thing? You should be seeing that game out, match control, just seeing it out. For how good you were the whole game in terms of capitalizing on our mistakes, because let's not lie, 3 of their tries, our mistakes, right? Well done to them for putting it away. But you look at the first try that they scored, right? Was it the first try? Ben Jason Dixon, literally, why is he throwing that ball out of the ruck? There's nothing on for us. He gives an absolute rocket into Jasper Wiese. That's almost like an intercept. They just take it wide. Caleb Clark runs into the corner, right? Their second try, what was that?
Jesse Krill shooting out the line, causing the overlap.
Yeah, but that came off a fussy rushed kick, right?
Yes.
Like, fussy marks the ball. Damien McKenzie's in the backfield. He's right there. So you can take your time and kick the ball, because I don't know why you're rushing this ball. Kicks it out 5 meters in front of him. They get a very, very attacking line out instead of just taking your time and having to run from 60 meters out. And then we decide we're going to do the same crash ball to Siya Kolisi. Jordy Barrett is a smart guy. Intercept try. 3 times they capitalized on our mistakes, right? We concede so much soft points, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Brevan, sorry, I was in a little rumble there.
No, all good. I also feel like, obviously, Tony Brown has a plan that he wants to execute with his backline, right? And obviously, a lot of people don't like the fact that Damien Delende is this ball crashing 12, which, like, I don't know why. He's so good at it, and he always gains us yards with it. But not once did I see Delende take a ball into contact yesterday. Not once. And why? Like, I understand you want to give him a variation, which is cool, but use the guy as a strength. I mean, Damien Delende as a ball crashing 12 is the best 12 in the world. Like
He only did it
hands
when he
down.
almost like a pick up and drive 5 meters out
Yeah,
from the
but
line.
like,
Yeah.
exactly.
Forward.
Which I promise, like, use players to their strengths, you know. And I was glad to see that. Obviously, when Andre came on, he went to 12, and Sasha stayed at 10, and obviously Jesse to the wing. But I just think, like you said, we concede such soft points that it's like, why do we do that? And like, obviously, to just add to your point about like obviously them using Bongi's try as an excuse, like realistically, let's be honest. If you look at your first try, and we'll touch on it again, you can't get in front of your jumper and block off the defensive. You can't get in between there, and that's exactly what he did. So that they rule each other out. There is no
Chema
excuse
was
for
not
this.
involved in this game at all.
No,
He should have
he
been involved
wasn't.
in Bongi's one and in their try. I do not understand what I was watching.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And the shot clock thing was also an issue.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brett,
Sorry, are you
Yep.
done, Breven?
No, I was just gonna say, even in the stadium, there's no shot clock. Like,
Really?
I don't know if it was on the screen below me because we couldn't see the one below, but on the other side there was no shot clock. So I don't know if there was one on the other one. So
That's
yeah.
very odd. This game did have a bit of a, like, you know, when something is unorganized, like it had an unorganized feel. Like with the plane coming over, yes, there was a timing thing. The plane was going to come over at that exact time because obviously, if you know anything about aviation, you only have a small window to fly over certain places. So that was just a timing thing. But the fireworks and the Sister Bettina, like it went off. Like that guy didn't know what button to press. That for me was completely disrespectful. I didn't like that at all. I wouldn't like it if I was an All Black fan and they did it to me. So there were lots of, like, it was weird. It was a weird first 20 minutes. And what made it even more weird was Damon Dalenda stealing balls like he's the sixth flank in our team. Like, what was that all about? Like, poaching
Yeah, it was
balls.
crazy at the breakdown.
Yes.
It was absolutely crazy.
No.
Yeah. Listen, let's give some. I want to give a special shout out to two All Blacks players that like kind of stood out for me. Like I've been giving this one guy some heat. Rico Ioane. I keep on saying this guy is a winger playing on outside centre. But fair enough, he carried well yesterday. He looked like a big, strong boy on a mission yesterday to prove some doubters wrong. And listen, we all love Mark Talia. We think he's great. We love Sever Reese. We think Will Jordan is a bit overrated. Caleb Clark was insane yesterday. That guy took every single high ball. Like, I don't think Colby caught one high ball when he competed against Caleb Clark. He was absolutely ridiculous. He's so strong in the carry. He doesn't miss a tackle. He's got gas. I mean, he outsprinted Jesse Krill, and Jesse Krill's very quick.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesse Krill actually had a bit of a shock. Not a shocker, but for his standards.
His worst game, it's a French game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I also want to give a little praise to Damon McKenzie. I thought he had his best game at 10
he had a better
for
game
the All
at 10,
Blacks. For the All Blacks in his life. I felt that he controlled it. He was calm. He was like, I don't know. Also, one thing, if you're a South African and you go to a stadium, I plead to every South African, if an Oak kicks for goal, don't boo like you're a little child. It is the worst thing that a person can do is to boo someone while they're kicking for goal. I get so embarrassed as a South African when they boo a kicker. Like, come on, people, be better. Just be better. Imagine you're a dad and your child is kicking for goal, or whether it's a son or a daughter or whatever, or they batting or whatever sport they play, and everyone else around them is booing them. And you can't say shit because 10 years previous to when that occasion was, you were booing at a stadium. So don't feel bad about that nonsense. Be better. Yes, I hate that.
Yeah, and literally, it's crazy because like where I was sitting, because I was right at the top behind the poles, and even when we started hearing the boos, like I mean, personally, I'm not one to do that, but there were people around that were like actually trying to be nice about it and like telling everyone, no, don't boo, don't boo, and then even when Sasha kicks, right? Like I understand, like okay, now we must all keep quiet. Some people like in the stands just start screaming, Sasha, Sasha. I'm like, can you guys just let the kick, you know? I mean, that would be great. It was the kick where he missed right at the end when we could have extended the lead to 7. It was that one. And I'm like, oh, really? But yeah, it was a weird game. I will say that. It was weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's wrap up for this one and quickly look ahead at Cape Town one, because I think if we win next weekend, we've secured the rugby championship.
Pretty much.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, because then we can only lose 2 games, and the All Blacks have then already automatically lost 3, right? Yeah.
So
anyway,
we're 8 points ahead of them at the moment. So
yeah, fair enough. Obviously, we've heard that Siya Kolisi has a broken face once again. Sam Kane breaking his face. TMO,
that's another thing not checked. Yeah.
TMO, where were you? Old race boy, where were you? You know, but yeah, I mean, what can we say? So obviously,
before you move on to next week's game, I want to say something. I've said this from the start. You guys know that I'm not currently a fan of this person, but Razor is not an international coach. Post-match press conference, whining more than taking accountability. Like whining about the Bongi try instead of saying we could have been better after that, or we should have secured our game that we were leading by 10 points, or we should have done this or done this or done this. No, it's just a blame game, and he's so soft. He is so soft. I thought that he was going to cry at one stage. So he's not, for me, he's not the answer for the All Blacks. I mean, they've had such high standards, like Graham Henry. That oak scares me just by looking at him. And then everyone else after him, even bloody, who's the previous one?
Fozzie.
Huh?
Fozzie?
Yeah, even he was more manly than bloody.
Oh my word.
Gee,
no, that's disgraceful.
Can't stand his whining.
Yeah,
I didn't even see the press conference.
And now we're going to get the comments of like, yeah, well, Rassie made a 2-hour video of the ref. So, I mean...
Rassie's the goat. No one can tell me otherwise.
Anyway, let's look ahead at next weekend, right? And I can already tell you guys, we might see a couple of changes. Because first and foremost, Curtly Orense is going to be out. HIA, he'll be out. Siya Kolisi, he'll be out, but I'm guessing we'll just see Marco van Staden slotting into that number 6 jersey. The big question is Makazole Mapimpi coming in? Is Karen Moody coming in? Do we get a surprise entry and we see Jesse Kriel go onto the wing with Lucanio Am at outside centre? Do we see Apelile Fassi going to the wing with Vali Leroux coming in at fullback? Discuss. Brevan.
Wow.
Yo, you brought springing.
I know.
You have brought some good variations to this conversation. Mapimpi, no. Moody, no.
Well, people just scored a 20-minute hat-trick in the Curry Cup.
I mean, against the Griffins, that's fantastic. And obviously, everyone knows I'm a Bulls fan. Moody, no. I'd be keen to see the Jesse on wing. Actually, I don't know.
He's good on the Bible as well, Jesse, right? So
actually, I don't know. I don't want to see Mapimpi or Moody. I think.
Would you be opposed to Veli coming in at fullback and Fassi going to the wing?
I don't know. I think Fassi was very hot and cold on Saturday. He did some really good things, and then he did some really doof things. Like, it was one of those performances.
Yeah, and a couple of standout stuff, but there's a couple
like
of times
that up and under that he retrieved. I mean, that was really good. I mean, obviously that's what we want more of, you know.
You see, but why didn't that inside ball come through? Was it that one, or at some point where he gave the kick to Colby and we were like, oh, that's close, but then you're like, well, Damien Dialinda was 2 meters on your inside, guaranteed under the post score. That's what we're talking about. Willie gives that inside ball. Well, he actually thinks it on his left foot inside because Willie likes to kick, you know. But I mean,
yeah.
Brett?
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be changes. I think Ulrich Lowe starts ahead of Ben Jason Dixon at 7.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say above
Do
Jasper.
you not?
Jasper
Wait, I just
wasn't
want to
bad.
ask. Do you not think that it goes Eben 4, Ron Nokia 5, Peter Steph 7, Jasper retains 8? Do you not think that happens?
I don't think Norkia plays again. He was good, but
I think he did well in the lineouts. Like,
yes, that's for me. That's it. I felt that those 2 carries that he got tackled backwards by Perinara and who was the other one? I think Damon McKenzie. Those 2, the smallest players, took him backwards. That for me was a bit upsetting. I did not enjoy that. But you can't actually. He did his job is to be a line-out poacher, and he did well there. So actually, I can't judge him on that. But I do, however, think that Moody is going to be the wing coming in.
I think he will be as well. I've got a feeling he might be. I agree with you.
Yeah, for his height. I can't see it being. Well, Mapipi's out the squad anyway, so it definitely won't be him.
No, all of them are out of the squad too.
Well, Moody's also out. He played Curry
all
Cup
of them
as
were
well.
out for just this weekend to play franchise so that they can be ready next weekend.
Yes, but they didn't. It wasn't stipulated that they left the squad. They were allowed to go play Curry Cup. The 3 people that got dropped from the squad, from the touring, the tour, New Zealand tour to South Africa, was Grobler, Mapimpi, and somebody else. So everyone else could play Curry Cup, but they aren't the 3 that's selected.
Okay, I get you. Is Kanan Moody in the squad?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it'll most likely be him. I would kind of like to see the Krill thing just on the wing. Just
it would have been great if Edel was fit. Flip.
Yeah. But the problem is that it was where do you put? Okay, it's not a problem. He has played both wings for the Lions, so actually it doesn't really matter.
But
I don't know.
If you're going Eben and Peter Steph, and you're saying Ruan Orkies doesn't play again, do you mean like not in the starting lineup, or do you have him on the bench, or is Argia back next weekend again?
I don't know about Argia, but I currently, from the knowledge that we do have, or the information that we do have, I would have said that Norkia just goes to the bench. I do think that maybe Fassi goes to left wing with Willie at the back, because Fassi is now, he's in the system. You won't drop the man, and then maybe Moody is the extra guy on the bench.
Yeah.
What is a 5-3?
I could definitely see him putting Fassi on the wing. It's something that I could see happening. And then obviously he wants Willie to reach under tests. And also Fassi gets to see in-game Willie operate, and gets to work with him.
Yes.
Yeah, and hear and see what Willie has to say and do on the field, and obviously learn from that.
Fassi thought he was Willie yesterday with a fake quick tap. Did you guys see that? Like, I mean, I saw that and I was like, yeah, okay. Willie told him what the point of that whole thing was, and that's why he did it as well. It was like, fake quick tap, people. Well, everyone's just waiting for you. That's always what Willie does. Anyway, do we have anything to add to this one, or do we quickly want to talk about the Argentina Wallabies game? Or we all sorted?
I'm done with
it. Yeah, I'm happy.
Final question on it, because I forgot. I'll just come to Brett with it. Do you think Reinach gets another start in that 9 jersey? He was not good yesterday.
He wasn't. No. Why do you say he wasn't good? You're the second person.
Thought he's
good. I thought
he struggled.
Points. No. Why? He did everything that he needed to. The game was secure. Well, not secure. And then Grant Williams made the impact off the bench. I'm liking that combo.
Yeah,
I like to. I'm a Reinach fan. I just think like maybe my expectations at the moment are just like he should be the best 9 in the world. I don't know, but you're used to Reinach impact. Like you see him everywhere. Like he's a standout player.
The thing I worry about for Williams, right, and it's not a worry, it's actually a good thing, is we're finding a backline player version of Kwagga Smith for the bench.
Yes.
And Grant Williams is that guy. Like,
yeah.
The pace he brings off the bench is insane. Like, the intensity, the pace. And if you give that guy 30 minutes to 25 minutes to win a game, he'll probably do it like he did yesterday. So he's kind of cementing his spot as that 21 because he's just, or 22, because he's just that good off the bench, So I think the combo works really well. I do. I think, yeah, that's just my opinion.
Obviously scored the vital try for us as well. It's kind of, because I was like, when we were 10 points behind, I kind of said it to the group. I was like, if we score the next try, we are winning this game. Like, if we get the next points, we are winning this game. And we won the game, so I feel very happy about it. Anyway, let's move on to Argentina.
What's the weather in Cape Town next week?
Oh, I don't know. Should I check?
Check quickly. Let us know if it's dry, if it's wet. Because I think if it's wet, a very nippy Kubusraina could cause some damage there.
Yeah, maximum degrees Saturday in Cape Town, 16.
It was any rain, wet, clouds?
No, it's actually showing me sunny emoji.
Okay, that's a good sign. I don't want it to be wet.
Tomorrow's our hottest day, 22 in prime winter. I hate it. It's too cold. This stuff is too cold for me, man. Anyway, let's go on.
Now.
We'll quickly run through this because I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't in the state to watch this game. I was in my bed. Argentina versus the Wallabies. Boys, I told you guys, the Wallabies, this is their level. Give them an opportunity. They grinded out the victory. In my opinion, when I watched the highlights and I've watched a couple of other guys speak about this game, they were the better team for most of that game as well.
Yeah.
I think they go next weekend and then they do it again. I don't even think this is an upset victory. I just think I see a future for this Wallabies team. No one's believing what I'm saying, but I see something in this team and they can actually go ahead and do it. Brevan, massive victory for them. What was your thoughts on it? Do you think it's a fluke? You do with that smirky little laugh of yours.
Yeah, I still don't think there's any hope. I'm not gonna lie. That's just me. But Argentina, look, I tried to watch. I'm not gonna say I watched it. I had it on. I fell asleep. I watched 5 minutes. I fell asleep. It was just one of those things. But from the little 5-minute snippets I caught here and there, Australia were the better team. But I just think Argentina were seriously poor, very inconsistent again. And as we like to see now, they prefer their home ground to be across the world rather than in their own backyard. So, yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, so from someone that actually watched the whole game, I felt that the weather conditions were treacherous.
They did look poor, yeah. They looked really poor.
I personally feel that's the most difficult weather to play rugby in. At one stage, saw the screen, it was raining from left to right. It wasn't even raining from top to bottom. It was like crazy. I do, however, want to give praise to one person in that Australian side, Rob Valentini. My goodness.
Yeah, Brevan's a massive fan of him. Brevan's mentioned him a couple of times.
The Oak can jaw, and I felt like he was the difference in that entire game. At certain stages, I felt, okay, he got lost, like he was nowhere. And then in crunch times, when he scored that try as well, it's, where did this Oak just come from? And I feel like he was really good for me. And then obviously that penalty was just, it's one thing I just can't fathom. Like, I feel like the time needs to stop with something when somebody kicks for goal, so there can always be a kickoff after a penalty is taken after 80 minutes. I don't like when somebody has to take up all 90 minutes to run the clock down to win the game. That just doesn't sit well with me. And I'm a kicker, so it's just weird for me.
Yeah, but then as an Aussie guy, if you were an Aussie supporter, you're probably just sitting there, take your all the time in the world. It's just a bit of gamemanship. It's game control. You understand what's busy happening. And it was a massive victory for the Wallabies. Obviously, that could be a massive confidence booster going for them. And Brevan, me and you spoke about it when we did the preview for this week, and I kind of want to ask Brett it because I think it's an interesting thing. I believe it's a good thing that the Wallabies are playing away from home at the moment so that they don't sit at home and get booed by their own fans. Now they know, okay, they're up against it, but like the home team is kind of under pressure by their own crowd, even though their own crowd will be backing them. But they know they're not getting booed by their own people. It's just like we just focus on our game and go for the upset. It's not like that where we have to please everyone or play this great deal of rugby and actually fight for cheers. You just go out and you just focus on your rugby. What's your thoughts on that?
Who are you asking?
Brett.
Yeah, I do agree. I feel like the problem is above all of our pay grade when it comes to the Australians in Australia, because it's not even a top 10 sport for them anymore. I don't think there's any like real interest, and I feel like what you're saying is correct, that playing away from home is helping them confidence wise. If they can keep performing like that, they might go to Australia at some points and not get booed. So
Yeah.
that's
obviously the idea. Brevan, you have anything else to add to this game?
Nah, not that I could add anything, but nah, I'm good.
Brett, you have anything to add to this game, or let's wrap it up? It's been a long episode.
We can wrap it up. I'm happy. Good job, Australia.
Yeah, well done. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Yes, we are a bit cocky at the moment. I mean, it's the greatest rivalry in the world, and we just won the free. Did we just win the Freedom Cup?
Yes, we did.
No.
Beautiful.
No.
We need to
So-
win next week as well.
We need- No, so what I heard was if the holder wins at least one of the two games, they keep it.
Oh, okay, that makes
That's
sense.
what I heard. I don't know. I
Unless
could be
it's a
wrong.
3-game series, right?
I thought
No.
only the first game. I thought only the first game counts.
No, because I remember we won the last one in South Africa. We won that one test, and then they came to Ellis Park and beat us, and they kept
fair
it.
enough. Yeah,
So
yeah, true. Anyway, so obviously we're fighting for the Freedom Cup, fighting for some more silverware, and then it's like the perfect start to our post-World Cup era that we're building when we're building towards the next World Cup. So anyway, we did forget to say it at the start, but please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you every time for watching, viewing, subscribing, and just engaging with us. We do truly appreciate you guys, and we will see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.